Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lorenzo, and today I'll be explaining you in this tutorial how to download and install Open Mocap Blender, which is an open source add-on for Blender to motion track or track your hands and then retarget it to any rig of your choice. So in order to download this add-on, you need to go to my GitHub page, and as you can see here, this is my GitHub page and link will be in the description. So in this GitHub page, you can see that all the source code have been uploaded and they are open source, so you can always download them and then modify them, right? You can contribute to this add-on project, this open source project, and here you can see the latest release. So in order to download, you just need to click here, Open Mocap version 1.0.0. So I click it here and then I wait for some time. Oh, sorry, you'll be taken to the next page and you need to click here, Open Mocap zip, in order to download it, right? So you click it here and then the download will start, and I can go to Control J and then you can see the download, and then you can go to your directory where you have downloaded. So here is the Open Mocap add-on for Blender. It's a zip file, so I can just go to Blender 4.0. So just make sure that you're using Blender 4.0.0 at max, because this add-on uses Google's Mediapipe library, and the Mediapipe library supports at max Python 3.10. The latest version of Python supported by Mediapipe library is version 3.10, and if you use some newer versions of Blender, then the newer versions of Blender uses newer versions of Python, so it won't be supporting this add-on. So in order to use this add-on with max compatibility, you need to use Blender 4.0.0, which uses Python 3.10, right? So you need to go to edit and hit on to preferences, and then you go to add-ons here, right? You go to add-ons here and then hit install, and then you need to go to your directory where you have downloaded the add-on. I go to downloads and somewhere it should be there, I think. Where is it? Yeah, Open Mocap zip. So I can hit this and then you can see this, right? So here you need to enable this add-on, and once you enable this add-on, you'll see this preferences, right? So this is the external libraries that the add-on uses. So there are three libraries being used: Mediapipe and OpenCV-Python and CVZone. So these are the versions, specific versions of the external libraries being used by my add-on, and you need to use them with Blender 4.0.0. So that's very important. Okay, so now you need to hit this install dependencies, but before that I would like to go here and click window and then toggle system console, so that you can see whatever is downloaded here. It's very important that you check what files are being downloaded here, because sometimes the download might fail, right? So I'll go to preferences and then hit install dependencies. So again I can go to console log. So you can see installing dependencies. It'll take some time to download, and it might happen that in some systems that in the first go it might not be able to install all the libraries. I don't know why. Last time when I tested this in my own system, it did not install on the first click. So if it doesn't happen in the first click, you can click it once again, and in the second go probably this will get installed. Okay, attempting uninstall numpy. Again I'll install it. Let's see if it works or not. Error could not install packages due to OS error. Okay, so this happened, I told you. So again you need to install this dependencies once again. Okay, then I think it'll work. Install dependencies. Then I need to go. I hope this doesn't happen with everybody. In my system that's happening. I don't know what's the reason. I tested several times, but it was the same every time. So I think the second time this will work. Installing corrected packages. Okay, I think it will work this time. Should work. Just wait for a little bit, and it depends on your internet speed, how fast things get downloaded. And I think it worked. A new release of pip is there. Okay, successfully installed. Okay, now I think it'll work. So you can see that all dependencies are installed. So all the dependencies have been installed. Now I think you can use it. So I can hit N, and here you can see the Open Mocap, and here you can see those two options: pose tracking and hand tracking. Okay, so in this add-on you get two options. One is the pose tracking option and the other is the hand tracking option. This add-on makes use of Google's Mediapipe framework to do the tracking. So I'll explain you what this Mediapipe framework is. Google has provided this Mediapipe framework which helps us to track the pose, like this pose landmark detection. So what it does is, given the first frame of a video, it'll detect the landmarks of the pose. So it could be sitting pose, jumping pose, whatever pose is there. And once it detects the pose throughout the video, as time elapses, it can track the changes in the pose. Right, so that is pose landmark detection. And the second one is the hand landmarks detection. So in the hand landmarks detection, what happens is, given the first frame of the video, it tracks the 21 landmarks of a hand, and as time elapses throughout the video, it can track the changes in the pose of the hand. So these are the two modules, or you can say tools from Mediapipe that I have used in my add-on. So in my pose tracking, I'll explain you pose tracking first. So you'll see this set of buttons or options or menus, whatever you call it. So the first one is this multi-view tracking. I'll explain you about this multi-view tracking later in the video, but first let's look at the first one. The first button is select video. So with this you can select any video from your directory. So here I have already opened this directory where I have kept some videos, and most of these videos I have taken from endless reference. I can show you the page. So in the YouTube you can see this endless reference. Here you can get the references from, I mean, animation references, so that you can animate your characters. I was not sponsored by this channel. I'm just showing you this because I've used these videos as a sample. You can download these videos from my GitHub page. So I select any video from this. Let's say I select this front 3, and once I select this video, you can see the change here. You can see that this points to a video file, the directory of the video file. And now I can start the pose tracking by hitting this. So once I hit this start pose tracking, and you can see this window, and in the window pose of this actor is being captured, right? And once the start pose tracking happens, you see this button which is animate. I can click on animate, and then you will see a skeleton which will copy the motion of the actor. So I hit animate, and you can see the skeleton, and the skeleton is copying the motion. So that was about tracking the pose and then animating a skeleton. Later you can copy the motion of this skeleton to any armature or any 3D character. So that is retargeting. That part I'll explain you later. Now I'll explain you other features as well. So here one button, this delete video, with this delete video you can delete the video which you have selected, and then you can again select some other videos. And the other option you can see is stop pose tracking. This stop pose tracking is to stop the tracking. So what happens is, let's say I start pose tracking. Oh, so video is not selected. I'll select the video first. Let's say I select this video only, and then I can start pose tracking. So once I start pose tracking, there are two ways to stop this pose tracking. Either I can hit this close button, or when I'm tracking the pose, and if the video is long, I can just hit this stop pose tracking. And once I stop this pose tracking, I can hit this animate to animate the skeleton. I'll explain you one more thing. There are these two buttons to hide and unhide the empties of the skeleton. Like if I hit this hide skeleton, I can hide or unhide this bones, and on top of that I have this hide unhide empties, with which I can hide or unhide these empties. So these buttons will be useful when you are retargeting the animation from this skeleton to any other armature. That I'll show you later in the video. And one last option is this clear capture cache. So what happens is, whatever motion data has been captured from the video, that will be stored and kept safe in the memory, and that you can clear. So I'll explain you what happens when you clear it or you don't clear it. I'll again restart the motion tracking to explain you that. Let's say I have already selected the video and start pose tracking. And once I track the pose, so what I can do is I can again select another video. So in the first video the actor was jumping. In the second video there is a girl actor who will be kicking. So I select another video, and then I hit start pose tracking. So here the pose of the girl is being tracked. She's kicking. So now if I animate, what will happen? So the skeleton will jump, and then the skeleton will kick. So here what has happened is I did not clear the capture cache between selecting those two videos. First I selected the video of the actor who was jumping, and then I started pose tracking. So that the motion tracking data was stored in some memory in your computer, and the second time I selected another video and tracked the motion of the other actor. That data was also appended to the same memory in your disk. So if you animate, then all those motion data will be, like one by one get transferred to this skeleton. So if you want to avoid that, if you want to track a fresh new data, then you need to clear this capture cache. So that's why we have this clear capture cache button. So now I'll explain you one more thing. So as you can see that from the front everything looks nice. The skeleton is jumping, the skeleton is kicking, everything looks fine. But if you see from the side view, something weird will happen. Something goes off. It doesn't look natural. The jumping, the kicking, nothing looks natural. And the reason for this is the Mediapipe library, which is tracking the motion from the video. It is limited to the two axes, x-axis and y-axis from the video, because the video is 2D. So it doesn't have the depth information. So it is very inaccurate in terms of calculating the depth information. So for that matter, I have one solution, and the solution is this multi-view tracking. So I can select this multi-view tracking, and then you can see that there will be two options, front video and side video. So I've already tracked the front video, right? I can retrack it to show you the difference. I'll delete the video that I selected. I'll also clear the capture cache. Okay, the capture has been the mocap cache has been cleared. Now I'll select all of this and then delete. Now what I'll do is I'll select the front video. So again I'll select this jumping video, front video, and then I'll select side video. Side video is this one, side 3. Then I'll start post tracking from the front video. So the video, this is the front video and the motion is being captured. Similarly, I'll do start post tracking from the second video, the side video. So the motion is tracked even from the side video. So once both of this happen, then you see one more option, which is combine data, and this option you'll see only when you are in multi-view tracking. Otherwise you won't see this data. Like if I uncheck this, and you won't see the combine data option. But if you go to the multi-view tracking, then you'll see this combined data. So what this combined data does is it combines the motion data from both the videos, front video and side video. So this will help the software to detect, to calculate the depth data. So I'll hit this combined data, and so data has been combined. Now I'll hit animate again. So now you can see from the front it is jumping and it's perfectly fine. If I go to side view, and again you can see even from the side view the motion is consistent. So this way, if you have two videos from the front and the side, you can actually have a very consistent motion tracking. So that's why we have this multi-view tracking mode. Then again you can do unhide, hide, empties, or skeleton, and clear capture cache is also there, but I won't clear the capture cache. And now I'd like to explain you the motion retargeting phase. So in the motion retargeting phase, what we are doing is we are taking the motion of the skeleton and transferring it to another other 3D model or armature. So for that, this option is there, animation, baking, and all. So I'll explain you. So here you have this empty, which is the root empty for this skeleton. Once you select this empty, you can actually move this whole skeleton anywhere. Right now the skeleton is animated here, and you can also see the keyframes if you select all this and this skeleton. And once I grab this and place it here, and you can see you can place it anywhere, or you can even scale it. So that's this whatever this motion tracking has been done. So this was scale independent, and you can say location independent. So now I'll try to transfer the motion or retarget the motion from this skeleton to an armature. So for that, I'll do one thing, shift A, and I'll add a armature. So meta human rig. I have this meta human rig here, and if you don't have this meta human rig, I think you need to enable it through your preferences, edit preferences, and then add-ons. Open Mocap, and I think you can search for this meta human rig. Okay, so okay, I forgot how to do that, but you can search on the internet and you can get this extension. This is by default in the Blender. You just need to enable it, right? So you can see the sizes are very different. So I'll select the root of this skeleton. I'll scale it down and then grab X. I'll place it here. So now I have this skeleton and this is the meta rig. So now I want to transfer the motion data from this skeleton to the meta rig. So for that, what I need to do is I need to select this meta rig and then I'll hit Control Tab to go to the pose mode. So once I've gone to the pose mode, I can select any individual bone of this meta rig and then copy location data from this and rotation data. Okay, so I'll select this bone and here in the properties panel I can go to this bone constraints, and here I can add a bone constraint and we'll be adding copy rotation. So once I add this bone constraint for this bone, I need to select the corresponding bone from this skeleton. So I'll get the picker and then select this bone and you can see the change, right? I'll select another bone and I'll go to this add bone constraint and then copy location, and then again I'll take the picker and then select the corresponding bone and then you can see there's it's been updated. Again for the hand also I'll select this bone, I'll go to front view, I'll add bone constraint and then I'll go to copy rotation and I'll select the corresponding bone, right? Similarly, same thing for all these bones, add bone constraint, copy rotation and then select the corresponding bone. For this also same thing, add bone constraint, copy rotation, select the target which is the corresponding bone. Again for the hand also I'll do this for all the bones so that you can follow along with me. Copy rotation, I'll select this corresponding, okay, it has to be bone, yeah, that's the bone. So for this leg same thing, add bone constraint, copy rotation and I'll select this, yeah, same thing for this also, copy rotation and select the corresponding bone from the skeleton, copy rotation and select the corresponding bone. Same thing for this also, copy rotation, select the corresponding bone, and you can do the same thing for the leg as well, I mean the foot not the leg, foot, yeah, same thing for the other foot, add bone constraint, copy rotation and then go to this foot. And now if you see, if I hit play button, then the motion will be retargeted. But wait, I've not completed the retargeting. So I'll select this bone which is the hip bone. So hip bone, I'll again go to add bone constraint, then I'll copy rotation and then I'll select this bone which is the spine bone, and then I can hit play again and you can see some motion there. But the thing is this bone which is the main bone, I mean the hip bone for this meta rig, it has to copy not just rotation but also location data from this hip. It's a little confusing but I'll explain to you. You have to concentrate on these two bones, this hip bone and this two bone. These two bones require not just the rotation but also location. Okay, first I'll select this bone and I've already copied the rotation of this spine bone, and that was for XYZ, right? I need to copy one more rotation, and that will be from this bone. So from this bone you just need to uncheck the X, you can just select Y and Z, and from this bone, the spine bone, you can actually select only the X axis, Y and Z you don't need. So there are two rotations, right? I mean three rotations. One is along this Z axis, one is along this Y axis, sorry, X axis, and the other is along the Y axis which is pointing towards you from the screen. So this bone, the hip bone, will be copying rotation along this X axis from the spine. right? This x-axis from the spine, and the y and z rotation, this y and z rotation from this hip bone. And the last one it needs to copy is the uh, location. So I'll copy location, and the location will copy of this hip bone and not the spine bone, and you can see this. But right now I'll not copy the location. I'll just turn this off. I'll copy the location at last. I'll select the other bone, this one. For this also you need to select copy rotation, and then the rotation will copy from the spine bone, and that will be only for x-axis. Y and z I'll turn off, and same thing will happen for this also. I'll have to copy rotation as well, rotation from the other bone. So I'll copy the rotation of this shoulder bone, and this will happen only in y and z axis and not in x axis. So once that happens, you can see the change. See, this is a change. Okay, so now there's a problem. You can see that the motion has been retargeted, but the thing is the scale, I mean the meta rig is jumping. It is just jumping in its own place. It's not moving from one place to another place, I mean from point A to point B. So for that you need to copy location, right? So I select this hip bone again, and I'll show you that here whichever which this this copy location I turned off, I'll turn it on again, and again from the side view you can see, and now everything is being copied properly, right? So this it is in this scenario that sometimes you need to turn off the skeleton. So with this button you can hide and hide the skeleton, you can hide and hide the empties, and you can see the meta rig alone, and you can see the motion has been retargeted. So there's there's one more place where you need to retarget the animation. So I'll just turn off this location, and I'll unhide the empties, and let's say not empties, just the skeleton. So there's this head or the neck. So for the neck also I need to copy rotation from this. This is the neck. So I select this bone and I go to add bone constraint and then copy rotation, and I'll select the neck. So this is the neck. So I selected the neck, and for the neck also this is okay. Yeah, that is for the neck. And for the head, so there's this head. So for the head also I need to copy rotation. I'll copy this rotation, and for the head, this portion, this will give you not the x, sorry, yeah, it'll give you the x rotation. So y and z you can turn off, and you can add one more rotation constant, and that will be given by this. So I'll select this bone, and this will give you along y and z. You need to turn off the x-axis. So now it's completed. Now everything is transferred. Now you just need one more last, which I turned off, was this. Yeah, so now it's completely retargeted. I can hide the skeleton, and you can see the motion has been retargeted to the skeleton. So this way, once you track the motion and animate the skeleton, from that skeleton you can retarget the animation data to any other character which has this kind of rig, the armature, right? And one more thing I can do is during the animation process, if you feel like you don't want to transfer the motion, I mean for a while, you need to pause that. You can just oh, that option is not shown here. I'm so sorry. I'll just explain you how to bake this animation data. So now to bake this animation data, I can select, okay, I'll just hide the skeleton and hide the empties. I need to select the armature. So here in this animation baking, you can see this dropper, right? You pick this armature meta rig, and you can see the meta rig. And once you select the meta rig, there's this toggle constraint which I was talking about. So if you hit the toggle constraint, and you can see the animation data has been permanently disabled. I'll unhide this empties and skeleton. So if I toggle the constraint, and you can see the motion data, see, you can toggle it, you can temporarily either stop copying the data or enable it again. So that is for this toggle constraint is for that. Okay, so now that everything is in place, I'll explain you this baking the animation. So what happens is, right now whatever the animation is there in this rig, the meta rig, the animation is not keyframed. So you can select any bone and then you can see that there are no keyframes. So in order to put the keyframes, what we can do is we can bake the animation data. That is, all these bones are just having the copy rotation or copy location from the skeleton of the add-on created by the add-on. So for that matter, this animation is not going to be useful uh, in uh, in in your work. So if you want to make it useful, you need to add keyframes to all these bones. So for that, what you can do is you can use this option, this animation baking option. So this start frame is the first frame from which the baking of the animation will happen, and this end frame is the last frame. So here you can see that the animation data, the motion track data, is from frame number 1 and it ends at frame number 117. So here end frame I can set it to be 117, and now I can bake the motion by hitting this bake motion option. There's one more option which is only selected bones. I'll explain it just after this. So now I'll hit this bake motion. So now once I've hit this bake motion, you can see that I select the bones. Here in the timeline you can see all this animation data, so it has been keyframed. So I can hit the play button and then you can see the animation playing, and I can leave the pose mode and go to object mode, and I can select this what do you call the root empty, and then I can place it anywhere. And because it's keyframed, so regardless of where I place it, this animation will be there. I can scale it, down, right? So that thing will be there. Okay, so that was baking the animation data. And one more thing that can be done is I can just I'll just go back where the animation was not baked. Okay, no, animation was baked. So I'll just go here and then delete the animation keyframes, and now it is not a big data. Now the only animation now the animation data is not from the keyframe but just from the copy rotation constraints. So now what I can do is, instead of baking data from all from the entire armature with this option only selected bones, I can bake the data to only selected bone. I have not cleared. Okay, now I cleared the animation data, I mean the keyframe data from all the bones. Okay, so now let's say I select these two bones, 1 and 2, and now if I check this only selected bones, then the baking of the motion will happen only for these two bones. So I'll hit bake motion, and you can see that if I select this bone, there's this animation data, this keyframe data. I select this bone, I can again see the keyframes. But if I select this bone, this bone, this bone, this bone, there are no keyframes. So if I hit, you can see the animation data is there for all of it, and this is because it's still copying the this thing rotation. This copy constraint is there, copy rotation constraint is there. So with the help of this one, toggle constraints, so if I toggle this constraint, then if I hit play again, you can see that the animation is copied only to these two bones. So that toggle constraints helps us in visualizing those things. If you're bake the motion for the entire rig, or you have just baked it only for some selected bones. So if I toggle constraint again, and with the constraints, the animation is there for all the rig. Okay, so that was all about this pose tracking. Now moving on to hand tracking. So here you can see the options for the hand tracking, and for hand tracking also most of the options are same. Like for example, if you select video, start hand tracking, delete video, stop hand tracking, animate, clear capture cache, and then this hide, unhide empties and skeleton, and these are for both the hands. R stands for right hand, so these empties and skeletons are for right hand. R stands for right and L stands for left hand. And here also we have the animation baking options to bake the animation to a rig. And then here also we have this multi-view tracking where we have front video and side video, right? And here one more new option you'll see is this real-time hand tracking. I'll show you real-time hand tracking later, but here one option is important in real-time hand tracking, and that is number of hands. So you can either have like minimum is 1 and maximum is 2. So either you can track one hand, right or left, or you can track both, two hands. So by default we'll keep it 2 so that we can track both hands, right? So I'll uncheck it, real-time hand tracking, and we will go for the offline hand tracking. I'll just give you a demo. I'll go to multi-view tracking. I'll select front video, and here you can see these two videos. These are my own videos. I'll select this front video and then select this side video as well, and then I'll start hand tracking, and the hand tracking is started for the front view. And it's not necessary that the front video and side video has to be at right angles or 90 degrees. It can be from two different angles. That's more important, that the two videos have to be from different angles. That's it. So again I'll do start tracking for the side video, and as you can see that the front video and the side video of these two hands are not exactly 90 degrees. It doesn't have to be 90 degrees, but just that those two videos have to be from different angles. And so I'll stop it here, and then again I can combine the data from the two videos, and then I can hit animate. So it'll take some time, and then you can see the animation data. So the animation has been retargeted to a skeleton. Now I'll show you how to retarget this animation to a rig, custom rig. So shift A, and then I'll add a single metahuman armature, and since this hand is too big, I'll scale it down almost this size, I guess. Okay, so this metahuman, first I'll delete all of it and just focus on the left hand, as it is left hand, right? But it's not necessary that you delete them, because, and I can do object set origin to geometry. Yeah, shift S and take it to cursor, selection to cursor, rotate it like this, and then rotate across Z axis. Yeah, so I'll put it here, and then I'll scale it down. Sorry, it's this one. Okay, so here you can see there are two root empties. One is this big one, and the another one is the small one. The reason you are seeing these two empties is because this one is for the right hand, probably because we had set track two hands, right? But since in the video I had only one hand, so only one skeleton was built, but still the root empty for the right hand is also there. I can delete that one because it's not necessary. So now I'll scale this down much. I'll make it even more smaller. I think there was, I don't know, there was one more root empty. Okay, I'll select this, and then now I can scale it down, and I'll try to make it as small as possible. I think this was fine. Now I can do the retargeting, but before that, for best results, what I can do is I can retarget this directly to this hand, but the best result you can get by slightly adjusting this rig. I'll go to edit mode, and then I'll select this, shift S, and I'll bring cursor to selected, so the cursor is here, and then I'll select all this tail of all these bones, and then shift S, selection to cursor. Yeah, this way it'll be much better. Tab. Now I'll enter the pose mode, control tab, and pose mode, and then I can select any bone like this. So here you can see I'll select this bone, or okay, I'll select this bone, and then I'll go to bone constraint, and then add bone constraint, and then copy rotation, and I'll select this bone. So I just have to select the corresponding bone, add bone constraint, copy location, rotation, and then this bone. Similarly for this bone. So this is the same workflow that we did for the pose tracking also, right? We just need to copy the rotation from the corresponding bone. So the same thing again, copy rotation from the corresponding bone, copy rotation. But one thing which is, I think, less confusing in case of hand motion retargeting is that you don't have to copy multiple rotations in few bones. Like in case of the pose tracking, you remember that for the hip bones we had to copy 2 rotations and 1 location data, but here it's very simple. You just have to copy 1 location for each bone. So for this also I'll copy rotation, and this is the corresponding bone. This one here, copy rotation, and from this bone. Similarly this bone, copy rotation from this bone, and copy rotation for this from this bone. And this bone right here, you can see, for that also we can copy rotation, and that one will copy from this. And for this one again, same thing. The next bone, this one, copy rotation, and this one, and the last one, this one, copy rotation, and it will be from this one. And you can see that the motion has been retargeted to the skeleton. Okay, so one last thing that I need to do is I need to select this bone, and now for that I need to add copy location. It's not rotation, but it's copy location. And somewhere here you can see in one empty, you need to select the empty at the the pivot point. You can say this is that pivot point, and once I get that, you can see this. Oh sorry, I think it was not copy oh, I did copy rotation. It's not copy rotation, it's copy location. Copy location, and I got to select that. Yeah, this one. And then again I can since this left hand, so I'll unhide this skeleton, left hand skeleton, hide left empties, and you can see this motion, right? So this way we can retarget the hand tracking data to this hand rig. Now we can bake the motion again. Similarly I can select the rig like this. I've selected the rig, and then I can either toggle constraints like this. So if I toggle the constraint, then there will be no motion, right? The motion data, the copy rotation data will be there. If I toggle this on and toggle this off, the data will not be transferred. So I'll just toggle it on, and then I'll just bake it from frame number 1 to, it's still 204, so 204, and then I'll hit not only select the bones but all bones, right? So bake motion, and now you can see that the motion has been baked. And now even if I do toggle constraints, without constraints also, the motion will be there. And I can go to object mode, and then I can select this pivot, so not pivot, I think it is this one. Okay, okay, yeah, I can select the bone and then place it anywhere, and it still work. So that way we can retarget the copied motion data from from the skeleton to any hand rig. Yeah, so after this I'll delete everything, all the objects from the scene, and if possible it's better to delete anything that's there in this collection. I'll delete everything from the scene collection, and then I'll remove this meta rig. I'll also clear capture cache, and delete video, and then I'll turn off this multi-view tracking, and now I'll go to real hand tracking, so real-time hand tracking. So in this real-time hand tracking, what happens is I can choose the camera. So currently it's 0. I can also go to like 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So till 5 I have this index for the camera. So camera index 0 means your default camera, like I'm using my laptop, and camera index 0 means I'm using my laptop's camera. But if I've connected some other cameras to my laptop or your desktop, you can choose them by like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to 5 cameras you can choose. So I'll choose 0. 0 is the default camera. So if you have connected one more camera, you can go to camera index 1. If you have connected 2 cameras, then the second camera you can use using 2. 3 more cameras means third index, fourth index, fifth index. So this index is the index of the other cameras. So I'll choose 0 for my default laptop's camera, and number of hands I can select 1 or 2. So I'll take 2, and then I can hit start hand tracking. And then yeah, now you can see this, and there's this hand being tracked in real time. Yeah, so once this tracking happens, you can stop it from here, and now I have this, I can stop hand tracking. So if you hit play button, nothing happens, right? Nothing happens. So you can get the animation data again using this animate button. You hit the animate button, you just have to wait for a while, and then you can see you get the animation data to this hand. Whatever the animation data you had captured from your live stream will be retargeted to this skeleton. But the problem here is when you capture the motion from the real video feed, the FPS, the frame rate per FPS, frame rate per second, for the live stream, it's not uniform. It's not like 30 frames per second or 25 frames per second. It fluctuates a lot. Only a recorded video will have a uniform FPS. So for that matter, when you play the video, the FPS will be like this. It'll be very fast compared to the real-time motion. So in order to correct that, you can go to the output settings, and then you can reduce the FPS. I'll make it half. So I'll go to custom, and then I'll make it 15 frames per second, and then now you can see that it's much better. So like that, you can reduce the frames per second to have the real-time data to be consistent. And that was the last option that I thought of explaining from this hand tracking. So this add-on can do these two things: post tracking and hand tracking. So I've explained you all the features of my add-on, and I hope you like it. Thank you very much.
In the end notes, I'd like to tell you that this add-on is an open source project, and all the codes are available in my GitHub page, links in description. So I have been working on this add-on for the past 2 months, and I totally agree that it might not be perfect. So if you would like to contribute to the open source project, and all the project files, the codes are available in my GitHub page. You can just go to my GitHub page and then download the project and then modify to it. It's free forever, just like Blender. Thank you.